All right. Minor bandwidth hiccup. I'm glad the Ustream app gives me enough warning. Had to kick poor Red Flare off of Netflix. All right. So, on the road to 90, as I was saying, it's probably best to avoid those nasty spoilers. Just experience the story for yourself. Unless you don't care much about the story and you're just trying to rush to 90 as soon as possible. Then you really should probably be reading the story, just to appreciate the game on that deeper level. A piece that came out of New York Comic Con I found really neat. There wasn't much news that I was tracking that caught my attention. Blizzard went, more story development things, but we're getting Ninja Turtle Legos. Seriously. Now, it makes me wonder if Nickelodeon is going to wield their new licensing controls on a Ninja Turtles Lego video game. I'm very curious to see it. Right now, there's just the one released demo pack. The comments on the blog, flameflash.net, we're wondering about pricing. My best guess, 25 to 35. Licensing fees, pumping the cost a little bit higher than your traditional Lego set of the same sized box. But we'll have to see. Krang seems to have evolved. I haven't been keeping up with the series on Nickelodeon. Foot soldiers definitely look unique in the form of Lego. And we'll see where the interest is. The Wii is getting a price drop. You are going to be getting Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. Thinks that's the Wii Motion Plus version of the game. Bundled in, so they're going back to their roots for their price drop and bundle. But I'm not sure why somebody would pay $130 for what is now going to be the last generation just to when the next generation, Wii U, is coming out November 18th. Speaking of the Wii U, I really appreciate that supposedly the battery on the Pro controller lasts 80 hours. Supposedly. Now, this isn't the gamepad with the screen in it. This is the controller gamepad without the screen. So when you're playing a screenless game, you're using a smaller device, a traditional looking controller. 80 hours? Awesome. In comparison, supposedly the PS3 gets about 20 on one charge, and the Xbox eats AA batteries like there's no tomorrow. A tip regarding the Xbox batteries, I think I've mentioned it before, take out the battery pack when you're putting your controllers down. They eat charge even when technically off. So just pop off the battery pack, put it in a drawer, and when you're ready to play, pop in the battery pack and go. 2 extra 1 second possibly each motions, and you're going to be saving some money or time or heartache when you have to go and recharge when you didn't think you would have to. An Xbox dashboard update is looming on the horizon at this point. I think it's coming out in honor of Windows 8. Supposedly Surface is going to be approaching as well. Or, not Surface, the Glass Play, the interactivity between your touch devices, your smartphones, your tablets, and the Xbox is coming. So go grab that Xbox app if you're interested. But speaking of Microsoft Surface, I got ahead of myself. Prices have been announced. So a $500 32 gig without the fancy touch cover keyboard cover, $500. It's the same as an iPad 3 Retina display, 16 gig. Wi-Fi only model. All the iPad models are Wi-Fi only. $600 gets you the 32 gig plus the touch cover. And that's equivalent to buying an iPad 3 32 gig. Likewise, the 64 gig Surface is the same price as the iPad 64 gig Wi-Fi. So I'm not really following Microsoft how you're going to kill the iPad with this. I don't get it. Neither does the newbie. In fact, she's highly offended by it. Now, that's the iPad 3. If you're willing to not have a Retina display, get the 2. And now you're chopping at least $100 off of the 3's price for each of those brackets. I just don't see how Microsoft is going to successfully jump into this market. Maybe the Surface has absolutely amazing capabilities, but the tech specs I read, I don't think I'm going to be able to play WoW or Diablo. And that was kind of what they'd been boasting, that you would be able to play PC games on your tablet. That was my excitement point. And I don't see it. So maybe it's just me. We'll see. Transitioning a little bit, we're all getting inundated with political news. So I'm not going to comment on the recent debate, except to point out that the Green Party presidential candidate and her running mate were arrested outside of the debates for blocking traffic. I guess they sat down in silent protest, peaceful silent protest, for the fact that they weren't being allowed in. That she wasn't being allowed to participate. Supposedly you have to poll 15% trending or more to be included in one of these debates. I know, it's horrible, isn't it, newbie? It's a horrible number to set up. I'm amazed Ross Perot must have pulled that off back in the day. But why are we limiting choice? Why are we not letting these people have a voice? I just don't understand it. What do the two main parties fear so much than to go ahead and let these people in? Poor newbie. Highly offended by the atrocities committed against the Green Party. Poor thing. We're almost done, though. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos is pressing for, at least in the UK, which is where the interview happened, patent law changes. Just let's get those patent laws changed. Let's help promote innovation again, instead of making everybody so afraid of being sued when they come up with the next great idea, because it just so happens to slightly sound like something a patent troll organization owns. Let's fix that. In the debates, there was a lot of talk about getting businesses to innovate, letting them have the money to innovate, letting them have the money to create jobs, etc., etc., etc. Well, Businesses won't innovate if the patent system is broken. Monsanto, that article we brought up in a previous podcast, so over on flameflash.net if you'd like to peek, is a perfect example of a patent troll innovation blocker. So why are we protecting these guys instead of encouraging the little guys in the garage to invent something new? Power again, perhaps? Those on top want to stay on top. Same reason why the Green Party didn't get into the debate. Not that they probably would have brought much to the table. Debate was horrible. Put Red Flare to sleep. Entertainment news. We'll close with entertainment news, just because it's a little bit more uplifting. Ghostbusters 3 is rumored to finally be starting to shoot as of next year. Supposedly has the green light. No Bill Murray. Sans Bill Murray. I'm hoping they at least bring back one of the classic Ghostbuster actors, in the very least. Play kind of the mentor role to the whatever new team comes in. But this is going to be, well, personally, I think it's going to stink. Let Ghostbusters 1 and 2 stand alone. It doesn't need to become a trilogy. Remaking an epic classic like those two movies is kind of akin to Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. So I'm not sure why anybody didn't learn from that one. And finally, Cartoon Network scrapped DC Nation. Supposedly Young Justice is still going to be on the air, but the only way to see Season 10, Episode 10, Season 2 of Young Justice is to subscribe to the show in iTunes. Because when they scrapped it, I guess they didn't stop the presses early enough, and you end up with Episode 10. The article I read said that it'll be coming back in January. So they're just treating this show horribly. Season 1 was a nightmare waiting between new episode to new episode. Season 2 has been the exact same way. Why are they purposefully trying to kill this show? I just want to know, because it's a fantastic show. I hope everybody goes out and now subscribes to the show on iTunes and gets that secret 10th episode that only we elite have been able to see. You don't get any commercials. And it's something great to put on the iPad. Just saying. Ultimate Spider-Man, The Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, still going strong. iTunes screwed up and gave us episode 23 and 22 of The Avengers Season 2. So that's been kind of funny. We've watched 23 and not 22 quite yet. Oh well. But we're over at podcast@flameflash.net for emails. Or just follow Twitter @flameflash. Or if you want to see what I'm doing online, what the heck we're gaming at, Raptor. RAPTR.com. Stop by, give it a play, and then come play. I'm going to attempt to start setting up the new laptop. So with that, we'll let episode 75 come to a close. This is Flame Flash of flameflash.net. Signing off.